The Frontline with Kwame, only on CTV. The Frontline with Kwame, only on CTV.
There is a fast-growing interest for military intervention in Ghana, according to Center for Democratic Development (CDD) latest Afrobarometer report. The report, however, revealed 51% of Ghanaians strongly wish for military administration, indicating the democratic process of a governance system, of course, gradually weakening. Meanwhile, some Ghanaians have cited the current development in Burkina Faso as a benchmark of a system of government, of course, they wish for. Tonight, we peruse the Afrobarometer report and what next? Folks, I have a strong business to do with Ghanaians. And apart from the Afrobarometer report, we'll make a fast trip to Burkina Faso to gauge the mood. The attempted military coup foiled. Plus, the global world yesterday. The glamour, we witnessed the glamour of the election of the first ever elected, if you like, an American Pope ever elected into the city of Vatican 2,000 years ago. And that was the glamour, of course, characterized by this very beautiful investiture of Pope Leo XIV, an American national. Of course, now the Roman Church have elected a Pope. What next? Tonight, I have the three build-up for you. Very exclusive details all coming on the weekend Frontline show. Folks, I am Kwame, and we are broadcasting tonight live from the very HQ here in the studios of CTV and across dozens of stations picking the feed tonight. Plus, our very own in Sunyane picking it on 88.1 FM, and of course in Western region, they're lifting the dial on 99.1 FM. In London, they are lifting it up on GOB broadcasting on TuneIn and modernghana.com. And still on GOB, they are lifting it up on www.gobtv.tv plus Apple Music. We're live tonight on the Information Superhighway, the 2TV, my CTV GH, and of course the Frontline Ghana. My CTV GH and the Frontline Ghana. Please subscribe to this very two networks. So, wherever, whenever, however the news break, you, of course, must be the first to know, because we are your reliable news source. Right. Plus, the interactive segment on the WhatsApp line 020-297-3461, 020-297-3461. Of course, I'm going to read all your messages tonight. It's a weekend Frontline. Many times, of course, the weekend Frontline, we do it like a freestyle, like a lifestyle kind of. But if you've observed critically, it's most and oftentimes the weekend Frontline that you also get the best, because it's a whole reload and lots of information coming. Folks, tonight you call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, all over the world and all over Ghana. The Frontline show, the nation's biggest investigative magazine show, with your investigative journalist Kwame and entire team. We are connecting to you wherever you are, and all the regions, of course, picking it tonight from Bolgatanga, Upper East, Upper West, Northern region, right? The capital, Tamale, and of course sloping down to Ashanti region, capital, Kumasi, Eastern region, Brong-Ahafo are all picking the feed, including the nation's capital, Accra. Volta region is picking the feed, Central, Western, plus the 6 regional capitals. This is the Frontline show. Folks, brace yourself for tonight. What I have for you, a lot is coming. You don't have to miss it. First on the item, but before, let me say, if you have a smart TV, folks, you can get it easy on your smart TV or digital TV, or if you have a Go TV, go to check channel 21. You are fast to go on the channel 21 on Go TV, and then there you go. Easy, 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 easy. Failure in all of what I've mentioned, you are not getting the feed. Come on the social media, Facebook, and then Facebook and YouTube, and there you are. You know, you would be cool to go with the two link, my CTVGH, and then the Frontline Ghana, and you'd be cool to go. Folks, tonight, brace yourself for what is coming on your weekend Frontline. Let's get started. And I dream in Obedin Komo more ding. And Komo ye be first. I say, Mabohundero Amamodera. Center for Democratic Development, CDD for one more Afrobarometer reporter, APA 2024, latest report. Emenyanti ebisem. One more kwabonte Ghana for the didi nkoma na ayese Ghana for ni binimu susu se eye omo se omo fele se omo dwen se omo adwen omo se ehu ni se de yamanyo sem na ye no no ekeka kono se womunya enye strictly se Ghana for ne penisa o yes mama yen streamline ade ne yi enye se Ghana for ne ni eje hwa preko pese chinchina sa no nemom ade bi twetwe Ghana for na so se the way an yoma ekono sa anye na bi a soldier for na nso mo ne yen etidia bi o mususu dwen ehu ne se bia ahoto bi papa bi ebeba wo mo so than perhaps baby o mo we na no bi se edin na ma Ghana for ni binimo adwene eyo mo sa na according to CDD no show mo reporter the build up no all the way from 2022 23 BC 24 ni na no na che se wo mo ko any Ghana for ko di nkoma Ghana for ni nyansem ni bika enye entirely say ye nya nipa mienu miense bi omo enye yo Ghana for ni binim wish no. But what I have to say is that if it's even the wish of some Ghanaians, the possibility also say these Ghanaians, however, call it a subset of the entire equation or a common denominator, no, the same people yearning for the possibility says a so what about say any man capture be answer, but bi we natural say Ghana we must be very careful baby the political process as I see a guiding year between the two parties see ma memu adebia mu bu no asemi ameka say mon hwe bibi yo na mo mo men ye hu ntoyen ye bedidi ni anom ni ahya atare that is only the cause folks. Well, tonight CDD mpenifo no if you they are here when one can say about they do report hu komo me de me nka bi they are here to speak to the report and tell you and I what we should do, what we should know, and the systems are more enemy in charge of this country. What you should know and the way forward to all of that, folks. So it is coming. Still on the bill tonight, we are making a fast trip to Burkina Faso. The attempted military coup foiled. In Sembi Kosowa, with the whole of the Sahel region. Now, yebe make a fast trip. Burkina Faso. Last Monday, the build up to the Ekoso of Burkina Faso. Tonight, I'm giving you the part 2 of all the Nsemwa Ekoso. Na ye geji se asumbibi ewo ho na se eyededen na Ekoso. Still on the bill, the very third item. Enra, the global world, of course, ye na yinim what is happening now. The world was glamored with this investiture characterized by what we saw it to be, a novelty, epitomized by the first ever American national elected as the Pope of Vatican. Folks, it means that an American national elected as the Pope of Vatican and the world power. Tonight, we'll give you the significance of this. Very, very serious. Yeah, I'm going to tell you more what is inside this election week. Pope Leo the 14th, on one also in his private capacity, and I say in his private life, your friend Robert Prevost. But of course, always say, ye electua, one more, one arrangement, and I had to say, ye see or hini be a ye see wa, Udia or the by say, Mimi Dean Kweku Anani. Yinya see me, I said, me caught in Kunyadem, na me kofa, a Kunyadia, ye de at the betome. Inti, one more year election in Wieno. Pope Robert Prevost in Kunyadia Udipieno, Pope Leo the 14th. Yeah, the first American national to be elected as the Pope of Vatican, the world power. Tonight, it will be secret, top secret. If you are papa. We share predictions. Well, some school of thought believes that no, this former late Pope Francis would have been the last pope according to some predictions and all of that. In Nipa, I hear predictions and forecasts. Nostradamus, Simpsons, and Ra marked yet another turning point in the life of the Catholic Church all over the world. 267 now. Are we going to count more, or perhaps this may remain to be that of the last pope? We don't know. But tonight, some mysteries is coming, and you need to brace yourself for all of that, folks. Inti the ebe banana and Yankopon ya demonswa. This very Sunday coming, Mother's Days. So anadruwe, it was strong Mother's Days. Edumedi bi sudi wa ha. Emubeye kama papa. Inti main say break crack. Straight up, we're going into the climax of the show. Of course, a bedding. Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Ora Blaster for one more ebeshe ebwa. Ora Blaster for no asimo mo kan say onyankopon yadoma ochina Saturday memene. About 10 o'clock, ye course site all over. Ni akwa kohwe ensase ni bibre. Na de omo se min kan kire on same. Asase bia ehun tokwa ati wo so wodwe ho woye ne hwe enyi yi kire same. Obi pese oyi from no fasa asase for whatever it is. And of course, the systems ni answer denial. Ye de court into mini asase ne ma. Lands Commission for ntimi ye hwe. Say bibia e basa. Then the third part is saying, I feel you are being threatened ewa asase so. What? Ora Blaster for ne can say, win please. Just assassinate tour for the meantime. Na bra ne ma wa asase be very decent land. What the bed then be an person we see one castle pension events and house. That trouble kwakotrim. And into Ora Blaster for ne pesi e boawo na e disadwin. Nti no mo dey asem na be shema no se men kan chiro. And I tend to agree say ja assassinate to call so na dey bia be koso ne nkranti nkotokuro ne nsra danam ne offensive weapons wo so to have you killed. No, it's not worth it. Tibet me abom we si udan a 2-3 bedroom. Why not? If this person go into some large scale business of what? Construction of schools, universities, or cluster of schools, or perhaps say we are going into construction of hospitality, Airbnb, or maybe then you want to tally the housing deficit. Why not? So you go into real estate business. Nina kwenyo ora blaster for us a dawson you'll be okwabenya kaswa breku danger amasaman and so on botiano be brave. The interesting parts of the Ora Blasters are saying access water, electricity, road networks ni na edeko assassin so we need problem. Ni be yachro na onyankopon yad mo china memene Saturday or china 10 o'clock. Call them as early as 7 and then make a trip to Ofanko Yao. Now no munkudin komone emfa onko site. From 053 617 6327 053 617 6327 Ora Blaster for Bebo and with me in your assassin. Mami assassin show very beautiful fertile land obey me there projects there. So when you're a place of your choice, I still call them, they will get you a place of your choice. Take a listen to this one.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Sure. I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow. Luckily, we have a plot of land here going within that range.
actually, at Dentra. Oh, great. And how's the payment plan? We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 3 months payments, 6 months payments, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand. Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site? Every Saturday, 10 a.m. is site viewing. Then I think we are good to go. That's fine. That's nice. Thank you. Nice doing business with you. Nice doing business with you.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.aurablackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Sure. I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by and come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow. Luckily, we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentra.
Oh, great. And how's the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 3 months payments, 6 months payments, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand.
Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday, 10 a.m. is site viewing.
Then I think we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice. Thank you. Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business with you.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.aurablackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Up next, Ghana Speaks Anyway, Politics of Today. Now, Politics of Today tonight, we threw a sharp focus on the CDD's latest Afrobarometer report, revealing a significant number of Ghanaians are yearning for sort of, if military system is within, they would sort of appreciate business and Yomanyama. But again, we also look at the attempted military coup in Burkina Faso foiled, matters arising. And then we would look at the third issue, the first American pontiff to be elected in the city of Vatican, and the world power. Tonight, a pact to but first, before, let's go to the first issue, CDD for Afrobarometer. Now, the media has been accused ostensibly say you're misinterpreting reports. But CDD for Nankasawaha, one base straight in as a Sena Ghana for Neka, and one Kasan so we are Ghana, Ukra I was saying. Into we episode we bet me as a benchmark, say Ghanaians. Are we beginning to contemplate whether or not say military for EMRA system no more saying, well, as CDD for Nankasa Ayom report no, one move here saying tonight my guest, Mavis Zukpok Dome, Mavis Zukpok Dome, or a senior research analyst, national investigator, Ghana Afrobarometer barometer surveys, CDD Ghana, if you say, May, what is saying? On your own. Good one, good. Yes. Now, Yen say, Sir reporting any emu ensem no. CDD for Mona Modebae. So no. And it's beginning looking like say the media will put in twists and turns to this report.
Exactly. Yes.
And CDD for money comfortable cry and
it's not about us not being comfortable. The issue is.
But first, before you go on, I think that Sunday is Mother's Day. Let's wish you happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you.
Good,
and
good,
happy
good,
Mother's Day to all the mothers
Sure.
out there, whether biologically or in any other form that you are a mother.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day. And well, let me say good evening to all your listeners before I actually continue. Before I start, let me say that it is not about us not being comfortable. It's more so our aim, CDD, we are a research think tank, and the aim of our research, especially our opinion surveys, is to bring citizen voices into policy spaces, into decision-making spaces, right? To be able to bring the citizen perspective into our governance. So it will be good to have really what they have said being represented and not it's being misinformed.
Okay.
Yes. So that's let me give a bit of a context. So Afrobarometer, that's the survey, is Afrobarometer survey, and Afrobarometer started in 1999 with a few African countries. So it's an Pan-African network, research network, right? So, and the overall aim is to bring citizen voice to public space, as I said. So we take citizens' views on democracy, governance, and socioeconomic issues in general. So that means that there are a wide range of thematic areas that we look into.
And you are a senior investigator at CDD.
Yes, I'm a senior research analyst at CDD.
And you did this, you were the head of this report, correct?
Yes, I lead when it comes to the Afrobarometer surveys in Ghana. So as I said, there are other countries. We have partners across the African countries, over 42 now. So every country have a national investigator who leads the team in that country to collect the data and analyze the data, put the data out there. So I lead the Ghana team. Yes. So that said, back to it. So there are a lot of thematic areas, and democracy is one of the thematic areas. And the questions over the years that have been asked are to aim to look at the demand and supply of democracy in a third country, so let's say Ghana. So if you look at it, there are a lot of questions that are actually asked around that. We do ask about what kind of, in fact, we start with let me put it in the context of the aspirations of Ghanaians when it comes to democracy, right? So what kind of governance do you want? Do you want a one-man rule? So the question of there are several ways to be governed in a country. So would you want a one party to govern the country, a one man, where we abolish the parliamentary and presidential system and one man decides what to do? Or do you want a military rule? And majority of Ghanaians reject this. They don't want either of those three. Now the other question that also is asked around this is the question of which statement is closest to your view, and that one is just centered on just democracy. You prefer to have a democratic rule, or democracy sometimes it's not the way to go, right? So I can read the question if that will make sense to better sense to everybody.
Okay.
So
give us one of those questions. I'm going to call Abonte.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of the democracy question, we usually would ask which of the following three statements is closest to your own opinion. Democracy is preferred to any other kind of government. That's a statement one. Statement two, in some cases, a non-democratic government can be preferred. Then the statement three is, for someone like me, it does not matter what kind of government we have. And the trend data shows that over the years since this question has been asked, from round one in the 90s.
Ever since, no?
The question, apart, like, especially when you look at it, let's look at it from 2002. So let's put more of a 20 years span to it. We have had, apart from 2022, we have had between 8 in 10 Ghanaians and 7 in 10 Ghanaians saying that they prefer democracy right? Democracy is the preferred form of rule that they want to be governed by. As at 2024, when we did the survey, it was at 73. So Ghanaians want democracy. Now, there are other questions we asked. The other question I will zero on, particularly because of the issue you're talking about, is the question of support for elections. And again, from 2022, support for elections have been the lowest, 8 in 10 Ghanaians, and that is 81. We always have 9 in 10 Ghanaians from 85 and above to 90. And so that shows that Ghanaians want to elect their president, they want to elect their leader, right? So that question of, and even if you break it down to look at it, okay, in terms of, let's say, youth, age gaps, brackets, especially when it comes to the democracy, as of 2024, youth, 70% of youth want democracy, right? And then when you take the elderly and above, you have 75 to 78% wanting democracy. So in terms of age range, everybody wants democracy. So that said shows that we want democracy.
I see.
There's also the question of, as I said, is supply. We ask questions around supply and demand for democracy. So I'll just show one of the questions around the satisfaction with democracy. Yes. So the question usually is, first of all, we ask if citizens feel the country is a democracy or not. So you ask if the country is a full democracy, a democracy with minor problems, a democracy with major problems, or not a democracy at all. And you have, yes, that the percentages vary over the years. And right now we are at 61% saying that Ghana is a full democracy or a democracy with minor problems. So we still identify the country as a democracy. Now, the question of, are you satisfied with the way democracy works? It's not that, are you satisfied with democracy, but satisfied with the way democracy works in Ghana, right? We also have varying percentages over the years, especially when you look at 20 years now. And we do these surveys every 2 years. And then now we are at 49% saying that they are satisfied with democracy. So, of course, it has dropped.
The figure has dropped.
Figure have dropped, yes. But that said, of course, as I said, the questions around the issue of democracy preference definitely would mean us testing the issues of tolerance to military, right? So if you look at one of the tolerance to the military is whether people want military rule, and as I said, people have just indicated they don't want military rule. We have 62% showing they don't want military rule in any way, right? And then the one-man rule and one-party rule, we have over 85 and then 87 saying they don't want, as of 2024. So
then, sorry for this interruption here, but then part of your executive summary I captured that says the survey conducted by the Center for Democratic Development, Ghana, CDD, reveals that 51% of citizens believe the Ghana Armed Forces should take control in such circumstances, and then 11 percentage points increase from 40% in 2022.
Right, so I was just coming there. So one of the questions that we asked around tolerance for military, I will state the question as it is. So it's a two-statement question. So the first statement is Ghana Armed Forces should never intervene in the country's political process. That's statement one. So in your view, which statement, right? Let me do it like I'm posting it to you. Which statement is closest to your view? Statement one. Ghana Armed Forces should never intervene in the country's political process.
So these are the questions?
Yes, that is statement one.
All right.
Statement two. It is legitimate for the armed forces to take control of government when elected leaders abuse power for their own end. So that is it that is being interpreted as it is being interpreted. So these are two statements that are said to the respondent, and respondent now tell you which statement is closest to your view. So it's more of a circumstance question. It's not more of, okay, do we want military now? It's
quite
a
circumstantial.
Question, yes, it's a question of first of all, is it legitimate?
Okay.
Secondly, in the circumstance where power is abused to personal end, should the military come and intervene? Right.
Yes,
and that is, and this particular question was introduced in 2022. So in 2022, we had 40% saying the armed forces can intervene and take control when elected leaders abuse power.
This was in 2022.
That is 2022. That is 40%,
okay.
and that number have increased to the 51%, which is in 2024 last year when we asked that same question. So in that context, yes, you would say that yes, there's high demand for democracy, but there's also an increasing tolerance for military intervention in our democratic process should power be abused.
I see. So there's an if clause.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Should power be abused. Right.
I see. But in CDD, are you scared in this report and how you captured it?
Oh, we captured it as I'm stating it to you. It's another thing when you want to interpret what we have captured.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That is it. So our summary of results is actually out. It's online for all the questions, and it is stated there as it is, and you will see the results. So you can easily take the 2022 summary of results and the 2024 summary results, and you can even check this question out. Now we don't leave that question just there. We go ahead because we want to understand, like, is it that Ghanaians want military rule, or it is more of, okay, we want an intervention because something is going wrong. So we have a follow-up question that do ask, should the case that military intervene, right? Should they? So I can read the question as it is, if that also helps.
Yeah.
So let me read the question as it is. Okay. If the military ever intervene in government, which of the following statement is closest to your view? The military should always restore civilian rule as soon as possible.
Oh, okay. Assuming if
that
the
statement
military.
one, assuming if the military, yes. Statement two, military should plan to gradually transition to civilian rule when the country is ready.
And did you capture some significant number there?
I will mention the figures, and then the last one is that military, right? The last statement is the military should rule as long as they want. Now, when you look,
the military should rule.
that is just that.
See.
Yes.
Wow.
So when you look at that, then you have 41% saying that military should gradually return power to civilians.
Civilians. Okay.
Then 38 saying that military should do that as soon as possible. So if you put these two percentages together, then you have 79% wanting civilian rule. They don't want the military at all.
I see.
So even if you look at what is actually even making the headline, if you break it down to just take the proportion of people who say military can intervene, should power be abused, do they still prefer democracy? Yes. 68% of those who said military can intervene, should power be abused, prefer democracy. 56 says Ghana is a democracy with minor problems or a full democracy. And 45 say that they are satisfied with the way democracy works. So the 45 is not so far from the 49, right? But in terms of statistical, it's a bit on the surface,
Yeah.
it's a 4 percentage point difference. That is a lot, but on the surface. But I mean, it still shows significantly that even with those who think that, okay, we want military to intervene should power be abused, still want democracy. Even I can break it down to even the various ages, because I know the report state the ages. I can break it down to the various ages and tell you that even with the various age group, which we are even always most concerned about, the youth 18 to 35, 67% prefer democracy.
The age bracket.
Yes, among those
18
to 35.
To 35.
Among
okay.
those who say the military can intervene, should there be abuse of power? 59% of those, right, prefer democracy. 57 of those, that's the youth bracket I'm talking about, say Ghana is a full democracy or democracy with minor problem. And then 45% saying that they are fairly or very satisfied with the way democracy works. Now, the other thing that somebody will say, why are people thinking about military intervention? If you look at one of the questions we usually ask is around the trust in military. And trust in military have always been one of the highest.
Ghanaians trust the military?
Yes, that Ghanaians
really?
do trust the military. I mean, our various surveys have shown
they don't trust
in
the
military,
police that much.
Trust in military have always been
the highest mark.
Not the highest, but even if you look at
reports,
if you look at, especially even from 2012 till 2024, you have between 6 and 7 Ghanaians saying they trust the military.
Maybe it's a quick one before you go to. Why do you think Ghanaians would load their trust in the military? What's the ironing of this discrepancy between other security services? But Ghanaians believe that, oh, why not? Let's bring the military. We trust them. So in the same spirit, if they trust them, then again we can hazard a guess that the possibility that they can say, oh, as long as we trust them, then the military can also come in to help in the governance system of this country, is it not?
It's not. Using the word help, I don't know the context with which you are using it, but it's so obvious that they just, in any case, if military should come in, they just want an intervention. It's more like, okay, come and intervene in what is happening, but please we still want our civilian rule.
Okay.
We don't want you ruling us.
Okay.
It's very clear from the findings that it's not that they want a military rule, it's more of they are okay if military happen to intervene.
I see.
The trust levels being high, I mean, in fact, we have been having a bit of discussions about that, and the Afrobarometer questions being an opinion survey doesn't usually ask why do you trust the military, but I perhaps it's what we have heard, seen, read about the military can
Wouldn't it be, if I have to hazard a guess, then possibly they are disciplinarian, they are disciplined.
Yes.
The police aren't disciplined.
I don't know about that.
Many times
I don't know about
surveys tells that the police.
I don't know. But, well, yes, when you measure, even when you look at the trust, and then even we do test citizens' perceptions on corruption. You can.
The police always come with a low figure.
But this is the thing, right? So we are face to face with the police every day. Right. Whether we go to their offices or we meet them on the street, compared to the military, we don't have that kind of interface. So to be comparing the military with the police, I am not too comfortable with that, because I see the police every day. I don't see the military every day.
Agree.
So I don't even see how they operate. There's no coup or disturbance around where I live or where I have lived before to see how they have handled the situation personally, to be able to say this. But we have seen them intervene in a lot of conflicts in the countries, in the country and outside the country, and we have heard good things about them. So given that, yes, maybe that is what is informing Ghanaians, that they are disciplined and they will do as they have said. Yes, maybe that is it. But all in all, I would say that Ghanaians are not saying they don't want democracy, because even if you look at those who say that military can intervene. If you look at their perceptions around elections as a form of rule, we have 77% saying that, among those who say military can intervene, saying that they prefer, they support elections as a form of selecting their leader. So to say, I mean, this is the context of the survey and the report, because we are testing democracy aspirations, satisfaction with democracy. We are testing the democracy norms, and you can't test all these without thinking around what are people's thought about the military. You have to test that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, folks. My guest, Menini Dinkomoye, Mavis Zukpok Dome, a senior research analyst, national investigator, Ghana Afrobarometer Survey, CDD, Ghana official, CDD official, Menini Dinkomo. Now, report where you can't want some. There's also the reason why Mavis Becca brought because when Timmy country ni piece, anti some money flow, English, na utimi a church and Yamanamuye. Just say. Report na CDD for it does appear as in the media no we're trying to take it out of context. Perhaps I say media ni hujagumi yesi me kra na medi kan ni hujaguma soldier for na mani ade but nyini na na etisa. However said numbers be however the fluctuation of the numbers e be kase o ya soldier for ne be mu a enye bad na emum almost so suggests a soldier for no crab baby mukrana and so me quick hurriedly normal hand over the civilian administration, meaning the Ghana embraces democracy no ye papa, and that's where CDD for no a report no kekako the Mavis ebabe rape abu hanma made.
Yes.
And all of this, is CDD still going to pursue this pathway to find out that Ghanaians will make a U-turn, and we may not even yearn for a military administration, or still on the minds of Ghanaians, we still believe that we can call them as and when, and as and when to us are. Oh,
so as I said, it's an opinion survey that occurs every 2 years. This question will be repeated again to see what Ghanaians are thinking. In 2022, when it was, of course, we do review the questions. In 2022, when we first asked, we have 40% thinking around that. And in 2024, when we asked, yes, the percentages increased, the tolerance level have increased. But like I said here, it doesn't mean that they don't want democracy, because even if you look at, as I mentioned, about those they saying that they want it to be turn back to civilian rule immediately, I can still even further break down again to the percentages that actually say that 51% that we are talking about. Out of that 51%. 51% again says that gradually transition to democracy. Then 27 says that restore as soon as possible. If you put these together again, you are in the 78 saying that restore right now, even among those who, the 51% who say that they want the one military intervention should, right? So though it is legitimate, not that they want, it is legitimate. It's more like, okay, it's not a want, it is legitimate. If power is abused, the military can intervene. So yes, that is
so
it.
Then
so it's more of a tolerance to military. It should there be abuse. So
then can we again by this reference is in Ghana, if the push come push or worst case scenario, no, the Ghanaian will rely on the last line of defense.
Ghanaians will tolerate. Yes, military coming in to intervene.
I see. Hey, Asamu, let us say Ghana in Nadrine, Ayane say Hunte be abo memoir. Your last line of defense, Yebe, which is say, Wombabe so memu. Ekura omane na yedie gina yie no eya soldier for nti mo me yenhwe ye nime bi because the military are our brothers and sisters. They are also Ghanaians. Sometimes it's as though Ghanaians, we are treating them as if they are like odd numbers or odd fellows or sort of me nti obe rapi apadena obe kanka ho.
Well, I would say as I said in the beginning, it's always good to put our findings into context and just don't pick a question standing alone and put the findings out there, because we have teams and questions are set to measure that particular issue. So the issue of our state of democracy in Ghana, you cannot just pick the question of if Ghanaians would tolerate military intervention, should power be abused, as the only thing going for our democracy. There are a lot of things. Support for election, accountable governance, a government that is accountable to the people. Citizens says they want leaders, MPs listening. There are a lot of things. They want a multi-party
accountability.
Yes, they want a multi-party rule. They want the opposition to also cooperate with the ruling government. They want the opposition to also cooperate with the ruling government. Should a position like opposition, those who lose, should cooperate with the ruling government. There are so many variables that actually we use to measure our state of democracy. So if we even want to look at tolerance around military intervention, should there be abuse of power for personal gain, then we should also look at it towards support for democracy as well, support for elections as well. So we shouldn't look at it just as that singular question standing.
Okay, good one. May jump something unrelated to this one, but I know it's a CDD might be because currently as we speak, there's what you call a constitutional review. The CDD might be Ghanaians yearning for the need for say constitution will be amended and so forth. More through spotlight to be
so that, I mean, it's years and years of discussions, even after the most recent constitutional review, and we haven't specifically done a survey recently, but we have done a lot of work around constitutional review. Even recently, we went on town hall meetings across the country to discuss issues of the constitution and what reforms that people want to see in the be done in the constitutional review. So it's and not only that, of course, we added the policy issues that people want to see. With the new government coming with their promises, what do they really want to see? We discussed all that. We had a whole nationwide town hall meetings, and we had various discussions. Wow. Yes, and some of the issues were on the constitution. So, and Ghanaians are really all for it. Ghanaians are all for the fact that there are parts of our constitution that needs amendment, reforms, review. Yes.
Okay. Good one. For many, my guests, Mavis Zoop Park, Domain Senior Research Analyst, National Investigator, Ghana Afrobarometer Survey, CDD. And the CDD, Penifona, Ebedi Sankomen. I believe it's a what's in Semna CA Pa. And yes, a Ghana for the America 2B and Yebabe Fresa Soja for Namra. Name mum if cross Bishaho. We Ebeya Casa Aquama, your politicians are more memoir. Especially Muamutia Bensu and Muamuti. Ichiho mo pa ba ban mu na mo beye mo neme bi ne ma hwe ne yie ma asomdwe bi aiden abome mu nemum utie report ne say the Mavis chechemu ya e science wo Ghana for na adwen so say asoja for no so ye last line of defense. It's like a code wo mo ye last line of defense o say hunten bi bana menti ase bi en nti ase bi nya adwuma wo mo ne e be from say wo mo mra meso omanum. But the question again remains there. CDD Susanso and money and from Unswe. Yentimi transfer. You bet me transfer remove power. So therefore, the military can only be there and help this nation on foreign aggression purposes, and not internally, like we are seeing in other nations in Nasefo. Folks, but the Mavis see us in a short break. But of course, the Frontline show continues. I'll be right back.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Sure.
I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow, luckily we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentra.
Oh, great. And how is the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 2 months payment, 6 months payment, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand.
Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. Great. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday 10 a.m. is site viewing.
Then I think we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business with you.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.auralblackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Sure.
I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow, luckily we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentra.
Oh, great. And how is the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 2 months payment, 6 months payment, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand.
Oh, wow, interesting. Sure. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. Great. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday 10 a.m. is site viewing.
Then I think we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice. Thank you so much. Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business with you.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.auralblackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
Great, folks. 54 minutes gone past the hour 8. This is the Frontline show, of course, the weekend Frontline, folks. And I'm sure it's the last Wednesday. Yes, the Frontline picked a live feed of President John Dramani Mahama giving accounts of his stewardship, of course, the contract with Ghanaians, 120 days. President Edin Komo Fabi Bia Munia de Bia TV. Yankopon ya aduma next week going. Any being time near pensen President Ninsem in Semnum ye. And the cresse NDC for 120 no my 20 navy. And I biakim which one is which? Someone say yeah no you microscopic microscopic lenses. And Tieba be interrogating na hwese 120 days in a bosome maku and 9 a day and a maye. From Monday, I have a Shiroff, SMP, but quick. Before I be rap, me the move call Burkina Faso enche, then we are with the move the fence and the Vatican hall. But until that, me was our responsibility with a happy birthday way, a comma. Of course, Sunday and Mother's Day, and the weekends, see a yenny bisa said the more money. Happy birthday and comma, Deaconess Imalate of the Church of Pentecost. Boom, Deaconess Latte, I mean, or that a unison. Deaconess Imalate of the Church of Pentecost. Of course, it's coming from your children, Patrick, Joshua, and Moses, and Mao. Happy birthday, and Joshua and Moses. And of course, Joshua is one of the engineers at CTV. Of course, a control room honum, and Omoma Meno, a happy birthday. In fact, Omama who of Papa. Come on. And he say na and Yoma echo. Now, Mother's Day no na chese me dimu ebi remono. Enti the Mother's Day no tonight I'm doing it here. First, my men shall seem free. Me MCR for no. Womu na wo ma minimu ane. Enti ye bedi kan no ma men ko credible ne ma me de ante Margaret abna dogbache ono no da screen is no one ne ba no credible no da nchen ne ma me so za enti ebeka akire Madam Margaret abna dogbache say yes, happy Mother's Day in advance. Sunday, come and enjoy the day, and of course, enjoy your son. Then the next on board, Echo Bismarck. Echo Bismarck is also an editor, CTV, and Echo Bismarck. Also, name at the AC Bowiwa. Is it Bowiwa? I guess so. Some are born here. Echo Bismarck. Yes, it's a bonwiwa. I enti echo. Samote se me ka echo Bismarck. Ne ma me no that screen is no. Yes. And then the family also hanging around there. Echo Bismarck ne ma me ni ono wo abrantie we. Onza yes na omina na eye dwumama CTV. And of course they also have to enjoy the Mother's Day coming this very Sunday. Then Ruby X. Ono so ne ma me de bless Amedeka Nairam ane echo Venison Ruby X ne ma me no bless Amedeka Nairam ono mini picture e wa ha say intina just say bibia Ruby X o ma me wo bia no de be kan so ono so happy birthday in advance to her. Then Ruby saying Mr. Keynes Campbell, online editor, Keynes Campbell, and Nema made the Antivic straight up. Into Antivic, Una Abranti, Keynes Campbell, online editor, and ono ne picture na man farm. Okay, all right. So wherever baby Antivic will be on, also the can say happy Mother's Day in advance, and then Yamba, Nema made the Auntie Cecilia. Auntie Cecilia, I know say what Tamale no ho, and he also enjoy the happy Mother's Day na Urban. And then Joshua nema many year na that is Deaconess Imalati and come. And then Florence Mavic on also on that screen is yes. Okay. Auntie Florence and so we mami. Yes, Mavic no that screen is of course we now have to taste the Mother's Day no zero na libiano adidana kwem nti be we me MCR for no list no then mamemra me asusumetarian has say now happy Mother's Day in advance ekoma Auntie Linda and other screen is our Awoshi ECG branch. Auntie Linda, enjoy the happy first Mother's Day coming this very Sunday week. Then the next on the list, Nana Efia Ejampoma, and also happy Mother's Day in advance, of course. Also Accra and happy Mother's Day no any day now in advance as far as Sunday is concerned. Enjoy. Then the next on the bill Presla Yemu and Kofi Sardin and Mani Binye. Mother's Day Sunday come out. Come. Enjoy to the max. All right. Then Akosia Sechi, Equia Sechi Mens, yes, sorry. Equia Sechi Mens, no, more than killer. Momo on that screen is my main idea. Yes, Equia Sechi Mens. Our United States, Connecticut, to be precise. Equia Sechi Mens. Happy Mother's Day in advance on this very coming Sunday. We enjoy to the mask. And then, me pa no so what New York City, I anti Vida Akosia Boating. Vida Akosia Boating or New York City on our screen. Yes. Anti Vida Akosia Boating or New York. Enjoy this Mother's Day week. Papa na bibiano enye kama emfa emma wate. Yes. So Vida Akosia Boating or New York on also Nedian. Then the next on the bill, Evelyn Amele Gaba. Evelyn Amale Gaba on our screen is on also ewo Accra hase. Anti Evelyn Amale Gaba. Enjoy the Mother's Day this very Sunday week and enjoy to the brim. Munano, my mothers are more experiences in delivery of children. Abatanyo enye easy sir. Yeah, abatanyo enye easy sir. Na unim say the city minim at what point men ebeye abatan in a special way of them. Yeah, share and mofra na yeden, but a man with that experience no. Then the last on the bill, Ya Amuzu, aka Yavim, power to the people. On the screen is yes, Yavim, Amsterdam, Netherlands. Yavim, pretty beautiful enough. Yes, Yavim, on what your friend Ya Amuzu, aka Yavim, in Amsterdam. Yeah, enjoy this Mother's Day week. On Sunday we enjoy to the brim. When they papa ne maminum enjoy very well. Of course, they are all mothers in their special way, in their very unique way. And then from the look of things, you can see that Mother's Day this very year I catch a lot of attention for whatever reason. Yes, and I believe that Nina no Onyankopon and yes, na ye bomb pie say. Mothers Nina and bear enjoy one more fruits of their labor. Na bibiano. Adidana kwemu. Come on, folks. Into the Mother's Day no so edru honomwa. Bedemu ebiura. Ghana Speaks Part 2. And of course, I welcome all of you to Ghana Speaks Part 2, or if you like, the extension. And in this edition, we take a fast trip to Burkina Faso to figure out the recent disturbances in the government of Burkina Faso. Last week, Monday, Mobekai, we removed Burkina Faso and Sembi Koso, Untembi, and Neye. Now, on Monday, we started the build up into how a military coup, an attempted military coup, plot foiled in Burkina Faso. Tonight, we revealed how the Western element began the plot. First, a 4-star general called Michael Langley was sworn in to take charge of the African Command. And some na course of Burkina Faso. Nina Shasiano Kowie se na de bia sanso no moye no. This white supremacy here they be omope destroy the foundation of Africa no. They use one of our own and omo de ayesa. Wo hwe the overthrow of Kwame Nkrumah. They use our own. Then Lieutenant General Akwesi Amankwa free fanamo and only 2 essay Nkrumah amembu. Now what should the air course for Burkina Faso? As far as the US African Command is concerned, we must swear Sojeni Penipa Okuta 4-star general Michael Langley and almost swear in say or no necessary or take charge of the African region, na nyoma say womu di be wrem no womu e dia e be wura Africa ma enyoma e basabasa all in the interest of the Western world. Yenhwe kwan the US government in swear Michael Langley in before he took over the African Command. Take a listen to this.
Repeat after me. I, and state your name.
I, Michael Elliott Langley.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the same.
And allegiance to the same.
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
on
which I'm about to enter,
so
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, General.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Mamenye another Mother's Day wish be quick. Emma, Mrs. Stay, Mrs. Owusu or Ghana has say from London, but I'm not quite sure Mrs. Owusu per se me display an image. But Mrs. Owusu or Ghana has a share program right away. So Mrs. Owusu from London, also me wish you happy Mother's Day in advance on Sunday. Enjoy the day to the brink, right? But so say me mau image in so there you can just drop me one of those. So Mrs. Owusu watching the show, happy Mother's Day in advance to you. So folks, so ni sworn in. You're sworn in you in later on. He faced the Senate Committee of Inquiry over his roadmap. The Senate Committee the U.S. Capitol Hill. One more say U.S.O. The U.S. Capitol Hill. Okufesi Committee. Na shensamunin koma womuni di efa African region and in Nyoma the U.S. government in Eshishe. Take a listen to the committee we're friends encounter. Listen to this.
General Langley, you had General Moussa Bamou overthrow the government in Niger. And it won't surprise anybody here that we trained him. The person who overthrew the democratically elected government in Niger went to the National Defense University, trained at Fort Benning, Georgia. So do we share core values with Moussa Bamou?
Congressman, let me just go ahead and state that core values is what we start off with. But there is no syllabus for overthrowing the government, not in our institutions.
Well, they're learning it pretty well, even in the absence of a syllabus, right? Because if you look at Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, in a lot of these countries, the coup is led by someone we trained. Now, I put in the National Defense Authorization Act a requirement for you to issue us a report as to how many coup leaders our taxpayers have funded the training for. That report is due tomorrow. Will we be getting it on time?
I'll do a follow-up on that, Congressman.
Well, I mean, this was the follow-up, right? Because first I asked you in that clip, how many coup leaders did we train? You didn't know. And so then I put it in the law for you to tell me. The law requires you to tell me by tomorrow. So can you give us a preview of coming attractions?
You get that. You'll get your answer, Congressman. But let me say, there's no correlation and there's no causation of U.S. training to these members.
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out, because in like a dozen countries, the coup leaders are people we trained. Like, what a difference a year makes. March 16th, 2023, Secretary Blinken calls Niger, quote, a model of resilience, a model of democracy, a model of cooperation. 1 year and 1 day later, Dr. Wallander, the spokesperson of the Nigerian military, Colonel Amadou Amabrame, says, quote, the American presence in the territory of the Republic of Niger is illegal. A year and a day after our government said they were the model of resilience and democracy, they are throwing us out by the scruffs of our neck. And so, is it safe to say that this failed, General Langley?
It's safe to say that there's no correlation or causation of U.S. training to a coup happening, period.
It certainly isn't. There's no causation or correlation to the training we do, creating more stability. I'm trying to ascertain whether or not all this money we spend in Africa makes the place less stable or more stable. And just for a country lawyer like me, if we're funding the coup leaders, that probably strikes me as making it less stable. Now, are you aware of the Iranian efforts to now mine in Niger, General Langley?
Congressman, we could talk about it in a classified section on that.
Well, I mean, Fox News is reporting it. They're saying that Iran is working on economic arrangements to get uranium from Niger. So,
well, in classified session, we'd talk real intel.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we've spent more than 500 million in the country. What can you say we've got for that 500 million as we sit here today? If it's like being turned into an Iranian mine, the Russians are the preferred security partner, and we're training the coup leaders.
There was a buy down on an insurance policy for protecting the homeland.
I don't think we're doing that, though. I don't think there's evidence to suggest that.
That's your opinion.
You went to Niger.
I respect your opinion.
Okay, but General Langley, you went to Niger, and you went to have a meeting with the people we trained who overthrew the democratically elected government, and Fox News is reporting that you didn't even get a meeting with the principal decision maker. Is that right?
I had a meeting with my counterpart.
The Senate, you know, any need you. Any power who the US government believes that we might train women in military coups, yet, as if say Africa, regional, woman who shall say Africa be that's what I'm saying. To say, so the new penny, one more question. Massa, share, one more maha say a year didn't know Mabaho. The aid of Africa. Now, I am a Ukrainian, just say Donald Trump or Biden. America for you to say USAID for what crash home. Yeah. Aid in Omudi Benina, Ada. Ada, Womudi Shea Newman. The last time we make catch them say USAID Edumakuno is one of America's biggest intelligence organization. Information be any every nook and cranny of Iriasi Babiano, USAID for report. Yeah. Should be. I mean, chia minia by so awo sechra, Akufo and the cousin. Awo power to the people, Mother's Day, friends in advance to you, right? And then Iradwa also Mother's Day in advance to you, okay? I believe say baby come oh baby or Iradwa. Yes. Folks, now woman is you generally he later returned to share with the committee other forces on the ground militating against United States interest. Osamba back any Senate ni bedin komo about forces be almost Africa. Womono, they are not serving the interest of United States. In today, Enna General Okyere committee. Take a listen to this again.
Africa is a mineral-rich, resource-rich continent. Is that correct?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. Which are there success stories for the citizens of African countries when these larger, more prosperous nations or companies from more prosperous areas come in and exploit these minerals?
Chairman, there's very few cases. When the Chinese Communist Party is outed on them pulling out raw materials, not benefiting the populations of the host country, they've been trying to come up with ways how they can stay there and process only at the protests of the people of these African countries that host these mineral resources.
Mineral resources na Africa mineral resources na ne hia wom Africa minerals deposits in kwa enti so money ye Africa leadership ni bedin koma ye no leader ni medin koma because we leader no ho ye omofe and our leader no speaks good or what. No, please forget it. In your case no they are in to exploit you, to exploit your minerals deposit, your resources, your everything. No moko. And no kakrom betimi dia ma leaders no mo dia ma mo yo mawie. Case closed. It is Burkina Faso. There's a good reason why wamukọ Burkina Faso. But finally, a global iconic figure, Brother Louis Farrakhan, has called on the governments of the United States to stand down and of course a prayer for the leader in Burkina Faso, saying, and a brother Louis Farrakhan should need an tour. Take a listen to him.
President of the United States, I suggest to you that the people that looked at him and saw his brilliance, saw that that brilliance could be used for a purpose that was not our agenda. Now, I'm closing now. The people that chose him know the time that we are living at the end of America's rule as a great power in the world. So I say to all of you in this room and all who are watching by television, we need to pray for our brother and his family and warn America, leave that brother alone.
Great folks, brother Louis Farrakhan and Ode Biatoto Hon. Says here, I say, we share the whole of the Sahel region. Oho, a shaky palm. Group of mobile, mobile cause confusion. Ya cheche binuma to Torium, Kwaye Mesrim, Imipom, Enuyam, Odotum, Tata, Tomine Jani. Tomube two Burkina Abanegu. Omube two Burkina Abanegu. But Bayeka say Donald Trump and Swatonkra Afre Ibrahim Touare, but he has declined. Uncle, what's your uncle? Until say the liberation of Africa no ebe in totality with the region no, as I said, the leadership in Africa sebe ye dwene hu se yem traho e makwan and Western world no and fire trada enye de omope no. And then we say we share apria ekoso our United States between the US government and other Amayama and other nations around the world. Our the tariffs war no. We say the tariff war no on Trump or the other share America for no corner when the air dollar. Dollar no air call from me pamacho means state adui quickly. Dollar no air call from no. It is not the making of anybody. It's as a result of the trade war. And you see, sooner rather than later, the US currency will drop and drop significantly. Yeah. In 1938, there was a trade war. The same Americans in a course way, right? And after 1938 trade war, enemy edukosi JC way. The trade center, the US Trade Center. Then United Nations sat to ensure, say, no, the world must see herself, say, we are one people. You need this. Me too, I need this. Provide me this. Me too, I provide you this. It must not be said the world must not be governed by one person's interest. It must be of common interest to all of us. But the world power, the world's most superpower, United States, on one meaning your maybe sir. To say, yeah, can say there's a whole controller. The nations around the world want to break this monopoly, the hegemony of the United States. That political preponderance that America has controlled on the neck of the nations around the world. No, one person will break in. Nina Kahunti, Ena, Russia, Brazil, Argentina, China, South Africa, and many nations within the North America. Mina Kashia, ye kosa one currency direction via, and also an enemy. Zimahon. Enti, a yenime pina air kosu we are African leaders must understand one thing, that the leaders in Africa must wake up. And wake up at the bright side of life. Oh, the global south, the global south, the Arab world, the Western world, Europe, all this continent way now. The only continent remain still with its minerals deposit, any resources are any Europe, any the global south, any the Arab world, Africa. Our minerals is still intact. And all these nations we are running speed to grasp to see why innovating control Africa. But I'm to tell you tonight, maybe say sooner rather later, Africa is about to take the global leadership. Yeah. Africa is about to take the global leadership. But until we do that, it will start with the leadership in Africa. What are we to do? Exemplary leadership. Folks, make a short break, then we'll make a fast trip to the Vatican, Rome. As of yesterday, the glamour characterized by the investiture epitomized the first ever American Pope to be elected in the city of Vatican, Rome. The significance of this and the world power at play. Ibi Rome Niashe Sidemunyamano is it here. Stick and stay. This is Ghana Speaks Extension. I'll be right back. Great folks, welcome back to the Frontline Show, Ghana Speaks with Kweku Anan. Folks, but before yesterday the world witnessed another Pope elected into the city of Vatican. This time, we say, the first American pontiff to lead the citadel of the Vatican and the world power. Now, tonight, we probe into the significance of this event, and of course, Yebabidi in Komo Binimnia there, and Yahya said there in Ebeko. Now, there is a lot of Nimebia extra symbolic that a pope has been elected. Now, Pope Niyinwa, Womunya a new pope, what are the signs that depicts that a new pope has been selected at the Vatican anymore? The person info ni chiro na uhu na chiro say this mark a symbolic say a pope has been elected within the cardinals. Take a lesson, watch this carefully. right, folks, welcome back to the Frontline Show tonight. Now, yebekwa kodin komobi, but in the very coming days, weeks, months, me episode bi nso amenemo babeye efa sa nyoma nyema ho. You see, sometime last week me can say me kire mo say the world is governed by two elements, religion and politics. But I've always and all times urged Ghana near wutie me na wo hwe me, whether here in Ghana or elsewhere in abroad, say let's learn. I'm telling you, folks, do not limit your learning and your knowledge only on your NDC MPPO. Here, keke. Broaden your knowledge very far, and then you can understand the dynamics of the global world and where we are going. Yeah. Meka say enche sooner rather later Africa will lead, will command the global world, will be in Tiase. But now the world power United States, and they are seeing ko you mu pope kura ka ho amom who say the do not limit yourself with MPP and NDC or Ghana happen. However, say Ghana is the epicenter of the world. We are the nerve center of the global world. But Ghana is not the entire world, no. So learn and acquire knowledge very well. In the coming days, you'll be seeing you maybe, so that you can understand the revolvements of the world and where it is going. Mr. Diallo. Diallo is a theologian and a historian, divine numerologist and anthropologist. Yanim bedim come with the Breya Arcane, so that we get into the significance of what we are witnessing now. Now, many would say, or of course we've heard, where predictions suggesting say Pope Francis Onyane baby Koeno was the last pope the world or the Roman Church ever witnessed. Question remains, where then comes, so Pope Francis was 266, now we have 267. What is happening? But we know, say, enipebi aye predictions be bring into all of what is happening today. My name Mr. Diallo in Ninko. Mr. Diallo, me mo adwo ho te say.
Me ho ya pa na so e kwaku.
Boni bi eni akwemu kra. Now, great. Now, when it comes to you're kind of saying more and more historians, theologians, and numerologists and anthropologists and all. There is what you call the seasons and the times and the events culminating. Now, Yehun and Ray, it's as though predictions be about that. Yehun said, and Pope Francis is the last pope. But then, yet the Roman Church has seen yet another pope. What are the significance of the events, the investiture, Yehun and Ra? Give us a history.
Oh, okay. There are two major institutions set aside by God to govern his world. The first one is religion, and the other one is the governance system. Both move together all the time. You cannot separate the other from the other one. And Andra, it's a matter of time because both institutions operate in accordance with time. Now, time in a bar, we need to start from where we are coming from, where we are, and where we want to go. It started from the time of Adam, and after Adam sinned, there was a time there. It was a osambeshe enipa. Emma bibia ye biano ahotobebem. So it took 2,000 years from the time of Adam unto the time of Abraham, through whom Judaism was established. And he said, time will be a religion, eduoperaty, and your time will be so governance no edi operate. Na religious time no the longevity no 2,000 years.
Yeah.
From Adam to Abraham, 2,000 years. And now from Abraham to Jesus Christ, so 2,000 years. Now, 2,000 years, there must be an improvement in the religious system to save mankind. It's Judaism by, through Abraham, Jesus also by the Christianity by now, or the Christianity by. There was a time there now on the nation for no bisa or muse. Na mokwa bontia yesemi ye hwan. And I'm say bisemi ye Jeremiah, bisemi ye Elijah, bisemi ye John the Baptist. And we say na musu mufi semi ye hwan. And sana Peter eba be yina no say you are the Son of God. He said, the living God, of course. And Jesus said, everyone say, once you have said this, it was not revealed to you by man, but it was revealed to you by God. Your name is Peter. Peter means rock. And upon this, I will build my church. Yes. And the gate of hell shall not prevail against it. So upon this prophecy, we know that 70 CD, the Roman army invaded Jerusalem and destroyed their second temple. And some of these Romans also became Christians. So along the line, the prophecy of Jesus Christ came to pass when they went to Rome to establish Vatican. And it was named after Peter, and they said the place is called St. Peter's Basilica. And since then, it has taken 2,000 years. But before then, after 1,100 years, 1,000 years plus another 100 years, let me put it that way. There was a prophecy by an Irish bishop.
Irish?
Whose name, Irish bishop.
Okay.
Whose name was Malachi. Malachi had a vision. And according to his vision, he prophesied in the 12th century that we have at that time 154 popes who were successors of Peter. And what is left is 112 popes that will end the work of all the popes. So if you add the 112 to the 154, you get 266. And according to his prediction, the 266 occurred concurrently with the 2,000 years, of which is set aside for the operations of the church. That means his prediction has come to pass. The one will ask, why is it that another pope has been chosen? Yes. The whole secret is that if you understand the times and seasons, you will come to realize that the old age is gone. Now there is a new order. And this new order begins with the new pope who has been chosen. That is how it is. So, I'm so glad that this new pope also is an American.
Mr. Diallo, prophecy no Irish ni be share no na chese Pope Francis here said we nya no baby queen na ono no the last pope
the last pope because 2,000 years na so
wow.
But there is no gap. In the book of Deuterocanonical, there was a man called Ezra. He had an encounter with an angel, Angel Uriel, and they spoke about the activities of the end time. And then the agent told him, Ezra asked the angel that what will be the end. So he should show him the end times. If there is a gap, he should tell him how many years would there be a gap. But the angel told him that no, there is no gap because there is no difference between Abraham and Abraham. Ezra did not understand. So the angel explained to him that when Esau was being born, or when Esau was coming, his brother, his twin brother, was holding his heel. And for that matter, there was no gap between two of them. So there wouldn't be any gap between the old world and the new world. That is why this Pope has also been chosen. So it's like he is from the old world. At the same time, he is coming to begin the new world order.
The NW, the New World Order.
Yeah, the New World Order. So the old world is gone. The new world has started. Let me give you one example.
I see.
The Roman Empire. The Roman Empire used to practice paganism.
Yeah.
But there was a time that they migrated from paganism to papacy.
Papacy, yeah.
Yeah, papacy, yeah. And at the same time, let me give you one example here. Our own Jerry John Rawlings was a dictator.
Yeah.
And he also became a Democrat.
Yeah, ended as a Democrat.
Exactly. In the same manner, this one is like migrating from the old order and then continue with the new order.
I see. But quick one, before Obekono, I picked some other research. We said, Sir Irish ne prophecy no de to it was kept in the Vatican kind of say archives for a very long time, as though I see MPC will be able to say were secret archives. Yeah.
The prophecy came in the 12th century, but it came out in the 16th century. They kept it for 4 centuries.
I see.
So it was in the 16th century that it was leaked to the public domain.
Wow.
So everything that he said is true, because the 266 Pope, the 266 Pope took place from the time the Roman Catholic came into existence, and then ended at the end of the 2000 years.
I see.
Yeah, which is set for a transformation period, a period of transformation. So now, if you link it to the governance system, which also operates according to its own time of 400 years. If you have read Genesis chapter 15, verses 13 to 16, God told Abraham that his descendants will go to Egypt, or in the nation where they will be slaves for 400 years. So that 400 years is set aside for a governance system. So, looking into the democratic dispensation, which started in America from 1630 till this time, it is also nearing its end, its culminating point, because it has been 400 years old. So this governance system of 400 years old and the church system of 2000 years old have now come together. That is why this Pope has been chosen from America. So now
the world power.
Church power, So now the church powers is in America, as well as the the system of governance or the governmental powers. Now we are waiting for what will happen. Because the time has come for the church to be relocated or translocated. Exactly.
I see.
It is not only for transformation, but the church must also be relocated. And where it is going is the African continent. I don't want to be specific by mentioning the nation, but it is coming to African continent. It could be Ghana also, because of our location in the center of the earth.
Yeah.
So we are waiting for actions from the Pope. I don't know what the Pope is going to do, because you have to understand the times and seasons. If you do understand the times and seasons, then you will also be able to know what you have to do. Without understanding the times and seasons, you will never know what you have to do. That's why when you read Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 7, God is saying that even the swallows, the turtle doves, is using some animals as example, that because they understand times and seasons, they are able to migrate. But his people do not understand times and seasons. He was referring to pastors, ministers of God.
Yeah.
So if this Pope understands the times and seasons, what he has to do is to relocate the Vatican or the church system to another country. For example, it was taken from Israel 2,000 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, now the 2,000 years has also expired in Rome. So it must be taken to another place. Exactly.
I see.
Hello?
Mami bisa question we Mr. Diallo. Na ebinimu forecast shortly after the demise of Pope Francis. Now is the African turn. Therefore, Ghanaians were hazarded and say our own Cardinal Peter Apia Texan and Ibiduno so and Amniadia Denise Ray. The world saw what we've seen as of now.
If looking at the synchronicity of the times, you see, the world power is nearing its 400 years.
And that's United States.
Very good. And also, the time for the church to end is also coming to an end.
I see.
Yes, we are waiting till we get to 2030. But there could also be an intervention from God. Because if you read Matthew chapter 24, 21 to 22, it tells us that there will be so much difficulty that if God does not intervene, the elect will not survive.
O say na ewiase be ya diama ono onyankopon no ni die mu kra na anhwe na wo man survive nti se wentwa ebre ne so and that is Matthew 24. Matthew 24:21 say, for then there will be great tribulation. such as has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. Matthew 24:21.
Exactly. So there's going to be an intervention, and the time for the intervention, I know it is 2027. It will not be surprising if it becomes a rumor that the Messiah is around, but it will be very difficult to find the Messiah because, yes, of course, because at this juncture there are going to be so many hardship, tribulation, and that is the time that people will be looking for the Messiah to come and save them.
Yeah.
But it will also be difficult to find the Messiah because his coming will not be observatory. If you read Luke chapter 17, 20 down, the Pharisees asked the Messiah, how will his coming be? And then the Messiah told them that his coming is not observatory. Nobody will see him. But the Son of Man will first come and suffer a lot.
Yeah. Mameka Luke 17:20 was say, now when he was asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God will come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God does not come with observation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So nobody will be able to see him until God himself unveils him. But, yeah, he is around, Mom. He is around.
I see. So it means that the world is about to witness all these great tribulations. Now, looking at the world power, the United States, and around the world, the very, that epitomizes the signs and the seasons.
Well,
with even the Pope arrival.
It is explicitly explained in Matthew chapter 24 concerning the tribulation that is to come.
I see.
And if you read the book of Daniel 9:2, it talks about flooding. It talks about epidemics, wars, famines, all these things the world is about to experience. We are already experiencing.
America part the whole of 2 years in Ukraine, and you may see America memo funny, cyclones in it, cyclone, tsunamis, heavy disasters.
Melbourne. There was an earthquake yesterday. They are going to happen all the time until the Messiah comes to intervene.
Yeah, Daniel chapter 9 verse 2. Or say, in the first year of the reign, Daniel understood by the books the number of the years specified by the word of the Lord through Jeremiah the prophets, the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then this same 70 years can also be read in Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 10 and 11. We have to go through the 70 years. Because, the 70 years represents year of platinum, the Jubilee. Exactly. So you have to go through it. After that, then you get your freedom.
I see.
Exactly. That was why God told them that he's not punishing them. All what he's doing is to give them an expected end. So you can read Jeremiah 29 verse 10 and 11.
Yeah, Jeremiah 29 verse. And I'll say, for thus says the Lord, after 70 years are completed at Babylon, I would visit you and perform my good word toward you and cause you to return to this place.
Exactly. Ghana is also going to experience 70 years. And after the 70 years, things will begin to go well in Ghana.
I see.
Yes.
But in all of this, maybe some question ways to say, where in all of this rendezvous, where is Africa will be placed? Africa benya fa hundie bi in all of this and
for sure.
Yeah, but we are so.
For sure, because that is why I told you that I don't know the intentions of the Pope.
Yeah.
Only he understands the times and seasons.
Yeah.
He will translocate the church to Africa. He will relocate the Vatican to Africa as it was relocated from Israel
to Rome.
Exactly. Because the 2,000 years is up. It is time for Africa now to enjoy. It is time for Africa now to get out of that mental slavery.
I see.
Yes.
Wow. This is a great teaching. So, yeah, folks, Mr. Diallo, and Mr. Diallo, a theologian, historian, divine numerologist, and anthropologist. And of course, Maminka, way quickly, there's a very good reason why in Tia, Mempese made a picture for very, very obvious security reasons. In Timuana Mubisi and a picture, and yeah, they made a picture about, but of course, the word now they ban should be much concern to all of us. Now, we share this historical artifacts or they be nana. These are global events and inano. We are say ebabe yay ebabe. Now, my name is Mr. Diallo. Ebabe did in the coming days, weeks, month. It was serious event. Bebreno, all of you as a so biya day. You who say ube suya de ehunye be a ekoso we are say. And tonight Ghana ha nya wadwen say Ghana penny de we are say winimu. The world is bigger than where you are, and you need to know the times and the season and what revolves around us. Now, Mr. Diallo, would be and you know,
oh well, what I have to say is that there's going to be a lot of difficult times ahead of us. Yeah, so everybody must be very careful, particularly when traveling, particularly people who travel abroad, because Jesus Christ warns us that woe unto those who take their flight in winter. So in winter times, I know we are not in winter at the moment, but coming ahead of winter, people must be very careful not to travel at that time, because there's going to be a lot of catastrophes concerning whatever Jesus Christ has said until he is found. As soon as Jesus Christ comes, all these things will come to an end. And he is bound to come any moment from 2027. He is around, but nobody can find him, as the Bible has said. It is to fulfill a prophecy. Hello, Kweku. Hello. Hello, Kweku.
Okay, you're back connecting on engine. All right, okay, Mr. Diallo, but what's the main car?
I'm a two camper.
Good one. Now, all wrap up, mami. Quick one.
Oh, okay. The Americans said there will be a lot of catastrophes.
Yeah.
Because of the tribulation period. It will be unsure.
Yeah.
But rest assured that the Messiah is about to come.
I see.
Exactly.
Good. Wonderful. Me do be see as a way just an open remarks. Me per se Imri what they told. Now you've done it beautifully. In the very coming days, weeks, months coming on, you know about a special edition pa. You did Ghana mining na ebi ura sa tibie mumu suya nemebia. Enye nemebi keke. But to understand the seasons and the times and the world events and so forth. But quick before you go, we have to understand say Pope Leo the 14th. One obabe share at the forefront, and I can understand you say the new world order also so another year able taking over the world in its events.
That one will be eternity.
Yeah.
You see, we have the 2,000 years, which represents long-term system of governance.
Yeah.
But the next stage is eternity. Exactly, because it is Christ himself who is coming.
Yeah.
So our next stage will be eternity.
I see.
Exactly.
Good one. Meda was papa imre. Yeah, that's papa. Great analysis. And now they are two of my. And the folks, Mr. Diallo, ni any din komono. You be din komo we more than this crowd. Now we huni. I mean, kind. Mr. say hello, Kweku. The Vatican's choice exposes a harsh truth. Africa voices are still marginalized. It is time for African leaders to unite, prioritize development and lead with purpose. Captain Ibrahim Touare's vision for Burkina Faso is a beacon. Let's forge our own path, free from external bases. Echo Thomas and Odebayan. Maybe we she maybe so happy Mother's Day in advance. MC Amonian ready, mame. I say, if this is not a doing of anybody, as you stated, why other currencies like Naira and CFA are not performing like our city. Please give credit to those in authority and come in peace. Meaning, baby, offer. You can do your politics now, but so I'm not interested in your politics. I'm sorry, please forget about those crap. Well, please don't allow people to lie on your show. Someone said, President Mahama said he was deducting 10% of the former appointee's salary for development, but they didn't see what they used the money for. Well, if they care to know that that was one he used to build so many cheap compounds in the country. Or Debra, no, they buy. Politics they say yeah, and then I shall make no. Mo politics ni na ye NDC MPP na mo be 32 years and still counting, and still your politicians will continue to lie before you. They will tell you the lies, bunch of thieves, criminals and rogues. They will twist your mind, fickle your mind, because they know your minds are fickle. I mean, you're interested though. Well, say good evening CTV. My name is Kojo Dari Wubai. Kindly then grant me a few minutes of your time, something. Okay, I'm sure say winner is going to be an outside day. Well, Mami Emrana member yes anyway. Mami AC wait there Miami DMO. Mami AC Kesten. Mami AC Kesten. Or washe ne mame. Yes. So, ne mame advance. If I'm saying Happy Mother's Day in advance. I'm to Auntie Helena from Odoko Official Town. Hybrid International School. From your daughter Mame Karen and siblings. Mame Isi Karen. Auntie Mame Ena Oda screen is Auntie Helen from Odoko Official Town Hybrid International School. From your daughter Mame Karen and siblings. Ena Wamo Weshe Yemami in advance. Happy Mother's Day in advance. Folks, be the mood see us and the main source, DJ Elastic, I'm sure, is taking over your screens, right? For the rest of the night until Saturday drops, of course. Then Yame Sunday, Yema minimum so aqua so Edi Mother's Day. Folks, be the mood see and Sharon so Bibiano. Ebededa nakwemu kama edi amamo na ninya on Monday yebabi be exclusive editions bi so edi amamo makeka nime pie ne nam kwemu a eba trust me a top national security chief bi any ebe exclusive one-on-one will spill the beans about DBAC wo mem ha expose in the body of Christ part 2 and nam kwemu ba enema bebre you gauge the space. Of course, show we are me at the YouTube. Into the obeyanese also about to me aqua ukosha fema wa downful. Uniebi no we dream when to me and share. Fema no on share. And now so say your first time and so san shebium fema wa downful be no so yeden on shebi. Ubetimi so as subscribe to your channel my CTVGH. Then your my 80 added an come. Folks, until I come your way next week Monday, folks. Shannon said, great guys near Bomi Chidom, Echo Bismarck, Ruby X, and then Kens Campbell, Indefatigable, Credible, and then executive producer Yao Yamba. Editor said, well, out there, Kofi Ansa, and director of research, Eno Kofi Ejiri. Until I come your way Monday, my name still remains Kwekwan, and this has been the Frontline Show on CTV here in Accra. Bye for now.
CTV, Ghana's #1.
and you're welcome to Class Leads News at 10 p.m. I am Veronica Amade. Now, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has fired back at the minority leader Afenyo Markin over his recent comments criticizing the government's effort to fight illegal mining. Spokesperson for the sector, Minister Mahmoud Kabore, has described the remarks as populist and incentive, accusing the minority leader of politicizing every serious national issue.
The honorable minority leader is only trying to be populist and trying to politicize everything as he has always been doing. The critical promise as part of 120-day social contract in relation to mining or illegal mining was to bind illegal mining and new mining licenses in forest reserves, begin the Tree for Life initiative and Blue Water initiative, which as we speak